Hello.
Hello.
Well, welcome to Womanhood Wednesday
And
Awareness
Awareness Wednesday.
Wednesdays.
I'm Frederick Byerly,
And I am Tracy Byerly.
and we are unapologetically gray.
Welcome. This is a treat for those of you who are viewing Womanhood Wednesday because you get to see my husband. It just so happens that we are simultaneously broadcasting. We're talking about the same thing on both of our platforms. And I know you guys are probably tired of us. Well, guess what? We have a surprise guest for you. And it just so happens that beautiful spirit, she's a Midwestern girl like me. She's from Missouri. Y'all know I'm from Kansas. And she is a lawyer. I think I'm going to let her give more details about what she does. But we want to bring to you Shalanda Smith. You all have heard us talk about preparing for the future as if. And this just isn't for an old person thing. This is something, a gift that you owe to yourself and to your family. And you all keep hearing me call it a gift because this is a gift. Now, we're not legal gurus. Therefore, we're not trying to give any legal advice. We have someone to do it for us, and that would be Shalanda. So without further ado, we are going to bring her on. Hello, Shalanda.
Hello.
Hello, Byerlys.
It's so good to see your face.
Glad to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation, the opportunity.
Thank you. Would you please just give them a snippet of what you do as a lawyer, first of all?
Yes. So I have a practice in focusing mainly on probate, estate planning, wills, business, and real estate transactions.
Amazing. And for those of you who are not in the state of Texas,
Yes, also, I'm available in Texas and in Missouri. I'm from, as Tracy just said, from the Midwest. So I am licensed in Missouri as well as Texas.
all right. So those of you who are not in Missouri and Texas, sorry. But at least she can be able to give you something to think about and take to your attorney wherever you want to go. All right. What's a fun fact about you?
One thing I think is funny, I don't know, it's funny to me. I still have my gym uniform from high school. And not only do I still have it, I can still fit it.
Awesome.
Just a random fun fact. So.
That is amazing.
Do you have any hobbies you'd like to share with us? Anything you like to do in your pastime when you're not working?
Well, since I am a new homeowner, my hobbies is fixing up the home. So right now I am watching a lot of HGTV, and so I get a lot of inspiration. And so the thing about it is you have those unfinished projects. So I'm starting a lot need to finish. So I recognize that I have a wooden door. It's covered in white paint. So I'm trying to get that paint off so I can get to that good wood door and hopefully stain it. So I'm excited about that.
That's
Great.
awesome. That is awesome. Well, without further ado, we are going to go into the main question. First of all, why is a will so important?
Well, I think maybe to make it more practical and make it more relatable to everyday people it's about planning and making sure that when you pass on, that those that you leave behind, your loved ones that you leave behind, know what to do. They know what you desired. They can fulfill what you intend. I think oftentimes people for one, think they don't have anything, or, they don't have anything that maybe someone else wants, or, oh, I don't have a lot. But there are some things that you have that are important to the people that you love. So it's about setting your house in order, really, and saving your family members from the headache of having to go through the process of getting things in order, because it just makes it a lot more difficult if you don't already have it written out, what you intend to do with your property.
That is amazing. That goes back to what we have been talking about in the previous video clips on both sides, getting the master pastor list, the password list done, getting the accounts and documents and policies in order,
right,
putting open accounts on a spreadsheet, or either have them written down if you don't like dealing with computers, and having like a call list for very important people that need to be notified. And we said not just in the event of death, also for emergency and for surprise parties and other good stuff. But having that list, and not just of personal people, but for sicknesses and passing away, definitely have for the important people that need to be notified. So this is right on with the whole planning that we've been talking about.
And another thing also is just the family dynamic.
Ooh.
Knowing your family, and then and depending on the number of siblings, and people know their family. And so everybody doesn't necessarily have the family that everyone's going to be in agreement on what, who should have what, who should have grandma's, china cabinet or things like that, who should have the car, who should have this, that, and the other. And so you want to, the thing what you have the ability to do in a will is to designate someone. And so that gives you the opportunity to appoint that person, that daughter, that sister, that relative, or whoever it is that you really trust, to make sure things are done and in order. Because it's not just about picking someone that would be the executor, but picking someone that you like. But think about who is going to get this done, who is going to be able to handle the other family members and set things in order. And hey, this was mama's wishes. This is what we're going to do. And so you need someone that is that has those qualities, this personal character, someone that is loyal to you, loyal to the family, and also have you in mind when, I think when you're at that time of grieving and people are sometimes coming out of the woodwork, you want somebody that has the mind of that person that has passed, that loved one that has passed. What would mama want? What would daddy want? And let's make sure we execute this in the best, because there might be instances where things are not clear and you may have to make a judgment call. But you've been appointed, and so you have to make that judgment call. And so you definitely want to make sure it's somebody that you trust and that is going to carry out your wishes.
Another question.
Yes.
When is a good time? I mean, do we wait until we get old, or when we get sick to do a will? When is a good time to do?
I would definitely, with the times that we're living in now, I would say now is a good time. And also definitely when you start accumulating assets, properties, we have children, like for example, I just bought a house this year. There are things that, okay, now I have an asset, something that is value of some worth. Let me make sure that when I pass, that I designate who I want that to go to. So yes, that could be in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and right on up. So yes.
Amazing. Awesome. All right. Next question or subject, medical power of attorney. Tell us about that.
So a medical power of attorney is similar to your durable power of attorney. It's basically designating someone, an agent, to make medical decisions on your behalf. And it's when you no longer have the ability to make those decisions yourself. And this could be a person, for example, and I have a friend that's a nurse. And so when you're thinking about who would I want to appoint or who would be able to make those decisions? I don't know. I'm just thinking practically you want somebody that has some kind of background. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be, but someone that can make those decisions. If you've ever been in a situation where you have a loved one and you're in the hospital and the doctor's coming in telling you, giving you reports or telling you the diagnosis, and really also that person is going to be an advocate for you. So just that scenario of just, I guess more so someone who's level-headed, someone who has an understanding, and someone who can press the doctors, the nurses, and can push through the situation to make sure they're making the right decision based on what you, in your communication with the person that you that is the subject of the power of attorney, making sure that they have your interests at heart and in mind. So that's basically designating someone to make medical decisions, and you're keeping it, you're able to designate what areas they can decide on, but giving them that power. And it is limited to medical, to make decisions upon your behalf and make basically your agent in your place. So,
okay.
But the thing about further is because it's written down, and that's the whole essence of all of this. With your wills, your medical power of attorney, it's you making the decision, writing it down, notifying. So it's that planning aspect, notifying the person that you've designated, notifying your physician, your primary care physician, and making sure this is document. People have a copy of it. That it's not just something you've written and it's in your drawer somewhere in your house, but making sure the appropriate people have a copy of it as well.
Let's talk about the next one, durable power of attorney.
Right. And so that's similar to the medical, but this one has a lot of, and this is not waiting until you are, you can't make decisions for yourself. This is a document, a legal document where you can designate someone to do financial transactions for you, to sign loan closing documents, to obtain, to indebt your business, to just so many different things that you would designate someone to do. Maybe acquiring property, real estate, things of that nature. And so you're able to specifically designate, these are the things that I'm authorizing to you. And you also have the ability to designate how long it lasts, how long it is good for. And so, and once again, the whole essence of this is about you making a decision, writing it down, and then having that record. And so when someone that has been designated with that power of attorney, they're able to go in and make those transactions, and then they have a record of, no, okay, so I have the authority to act on this person's behalf because it's written, it's notarized, it's a legal document. And so, and people can do that, can be for different reasons. Maybe you're in a state and someone is handling business for you somewhere else. So, and it's just something good to have if that's something that you would need. So,
is this the same as an executor?
In regards to
the word durable power of attorney, is this another word for executor, or is there a difference?
It's just, I guess, the similar function, I guess you could say. So in the will, you have someone that's basically the executor of the will, that's in charge of doing everything and acting on your behalf. And so in that regard, so this power of attorney is that person that you designate, that agent. And that's what it is. They're acting on your behalf. They're acting as if it was you. They're acting in your place. And so that document is what gives them that authority.
Yeah. Let me be clear. Durable power of attorney, legal person, it's in writing, handling affairs.
Right.
The executor is just strictly taking care of what's being said in the will.
Correct. And it's still that same aspect of handling your affairs, of your estate. And so, and also the thing about a will is you have to, of course, once the person passes, deceased, they have to go to probate court and to open up an estate, and then they get letters from, and there's all different kinds of avenues or different things that you can do in regards to the kind of estate, but maybe letters of administration. So they're having that paperwork because as they're going about handling your estate, paying off your debts, handling, transferring the property that you have, they need that authority. And so, yeah, like this power of attorney, they need that documentation, because that's what people, as you're going and transacting business, people are like, well, I need some documentation that you have the authority to do this, because the deceased person is no longer there. And so the all the accounts and the property, the things are in the deceased person's name. And so you, as Joe Smith, so the thing is, what authority do you have to act on this person's behalf? And that's what you have, those documentation.
This is the reason why it is so important to have all of the accounts, open accounts, everything, if not written and kept up, at least put on a spread, so that whoever the durable power of attorney is, they can reference, and even down to the bank account numbers, all of that needs to be on something so that that person can take care of business.
Yes. And it's something, and I listened to one of your earlier shows, and as you were laying that out, and it's something, we're just in a different time frame where I can just, if I just think, I have a whole book, I mean, but I have a couple of pages of just all my sign-ons and passwords for the different accounts. So just imagine going and, maybe a relative suddenly passed and no one knows anything of how to get into their accounts. And it seems like almost so many things has a password and a sign on. And so just even trying to get that situated. So.
Yes. Any questions before?
We're moving on. This is great.
All right. So that one thing y'all kept seeing me butcher, I was calling it advanced medical. It's advanced directives.
Yes.
Tell us about that, please.
Yes. So this is another, going along the same theme of planning. It gives you the opportunity to make a decision while you're lucid, while you're just, casually thinking about it. Make a decision on what, in the event that I have a terminal illness or the doctor has declared me brain dead, whatever the situation may be, what do you want? Do you want to be on life support? And you're able to, the beauty of it, it gives you the ability to make that decision when there is no crisis, because that's something you don't necessarily want to make when you're stressed or in the middle of the crisis. And like, just prime example, my dad, we did not have anything. Shame on me, did not have anything, but he went to the ICU and was in the ICU for 20 days, and we didn't have anything. So the doctors are asking my mom, and they're kind of pressuring her, and they keep asking, because basically, they're wanting to take him off life support, and we just, we hadn't really talked about it. I don't think my mom wanted to make the decision. That's a tough decision, and not knowing. I mean, we know his heart, but it's just a tough thing you don't want to be trying to make in that situation. And there's another friend of my mom as well, and her dad was in ICU, and at that time they were trying to get paperwork together, and I'm like, it was too late. He did not have the capacity to designate somebody to act on his behalf. And so it's just a situation you do not, I mean, if any way you can help it, do not want to be in. And so but the thing about the form, it allows you, that's something you want to talk to your doctor about, talk to your doctor, talk to a friend, a relative, talk to people in your family, let them know, do you want your to donate your organs? Do you want to be, have those conversations? I think the thing about, especially us, for some reason, we don't want to talk about it. I guess we feel like that makes it more real, but we're all going to pass. We're just passing through here. So the thing is, talk about it now where it's kind of lighthearted. You can kind of think about it, maybe even do some research and just determine what are they able to do for you? How long can you last, on a feeding tube and things like that. Just kind of investigate it where you're not in the midst of an emergency crisis and, daddy's in, the ICU. And so that gives you the opportunity to make those decisions when you're calm and collected. You can designate it, you can write it down, and then you want to, of course, provide it to your primary care physician. So it's already on record. because there's some I have a friend that's a nurse, and there's some scary things that's happened there. There's like almost a protocol. They do what they can. They maybe make a couple of phone calls, and then the hospital makes the decision. So if there's something that you want, you need to make sure that's written down, and your doctor knows, somebody knows, so they can advocate for you. Yeah.
Based on your experience, from what you've experienced with this, just having to go through that with your father, what about the level of emotional? Did it increase the stress, strain in reference to what you guys were already dealing with? Is that what you're saying by not having everything in order?
Right, because the thing about being in that situation, being in that hospital, the hospital, and then this is the hospital they were at, they were pretty cold, and it was clear that they were just waiting for him, they're and it kind of was pressuring my mom, like, hey, make a decision, we're going to move him up to hospice. So you're grieving and recognize, because you're hoping that we're got the family praying, everybody's praying, told everybody, everybody's praying. But as it keeps going on, and then recognize, of course, the hospital, they're just maintaining him. They're not doing anything to help him. They've already decided, hey, we're just waiting for you to pull the plug. So having all that, not knowing, I guess, necessarily what he wanted, and just having to interpret that. And my mom, because part of it is, I think I was more level-headed, I think, just coming in, and also having talked, I feel God kind of prepared me for that. But that unbelief, that just numbness, like, is this really, kind of walking in a haze, and I think it's hard to make decisions like that, because it's almost like, is this even really happening?
Yes.
So, and that's why it's good to make those decisions, like I said, now, when you are calm and you're not in the sense. And then once again, like I was telling with the other documents, having it be someone who won't make it out of emotion, because oftentimes there'll be people that want to have a relative stay on life support, but when it's obvious that the doctors are saying they're going to be a vegetable, they're not. This would not be, and then, but knowing that person, would that person really want to be in that state? And I'm like, please, don't have me. If I can't talk, if I can't see you, I can't move my fingers, just let me go. There's no need to keep me somewhere for 5 years. And so we'd even considered, maybe putting him in a hospice, and then just thinking about the money, and like what kind of quality of life would that be? And then is my mom going to go there every day? And so just having to process all of that while he's in the hospital, in the ICU. That is a lot.
Okay.
That is a lot and not saying that definitely not saying this will make it any lessen, I guess, the pain of it. But I think having things in order and knowing, okay, Daddy wouldn't have wanted this. Let's go ahead and make the decision. We know that we've already discussed this. We know he said that if in the event of this happening, this is what he wants. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's honor his wishes. I think that would be a way of closure, a way of grieving and processing, as opposed to not knowing. It's almost like you're prolonging the grieving process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wow. Thank you.
That's interesting. That just kind of came out as I was just talking about that. But I think,
having been through it, you're explaining it. It's people we need to understand that it's going to happen one way or another. So we have to make decisions.
Right.
But while you're going through it, you were able to share with us the depth of the challenges that you were forced to make, in essence, whether you felt like it.
Right.
Not. Okay. Wow.
That is amazing. I know that there are some people out there that are, and I'm just going to ask the question because I know it's in somebody's head. Do I need an attorney to do all this? Can I just do this myself out of the will, the medical power of attorney, the durable power of attorney, advanced directives? What can people do themselves, and what is it that you can? No, you need an attorney.
Well, yes, the medical power of attorney, the durable power of attorney, the advance directive, those are documents that someone can do themselves. They can find online. Even your the advance directive and the medical power of attorney may even be available through the hospital. You can maybe some resource. Also, the Bar Association usually provides sample documents online as well. The will, there, of course, LegalZoom. There's a lot of a lot of companies that are providing documents. And I would say if you have something simple, say it's just a house and maybe just some items, just very, under 200,000 is probably the extent of the estate. Then maybe that someone could do that themselves. But I think when it comes to more complicated things and you have children, maybe blended marriages, property, business, trust, stocks. I mean, if you're doing $1 million, you definitely need, because falls into the tax. There's a lot of tax things to consider as well. So, I mean, unless you're a tax expert, then yeah, you might want to have someone just to make sure everyone's covered. Everything is going to be transferred appropriately, and I guess to prepare for the taxes that may occur.
Okay. Do you have any final questions?
No, I think we're very informed now.
All right. I'm going to put you here. And are there any final words that you have to say to sum up?
Yes, what I would say, just with everything that's been going on with COVID and the pandemic and just all the other things that we have going on in life, we definitely want to be intentional in making sure that we're leaving a legacy and that we plan for the future. And so it's I would say it's not time wasted. It's definitely time. You're investing in your own future when you plan for the future and for your children. So I definitely encourage people to do what they can to make sure their family members, their loved ones are set up to succeed. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I'm keeping the information put down here at the bottom.
So this is, in essence, you're supporting what we've been talking about and sharing, because we talk about this harmonic lifestyle, meaning we're spirit, soul, and body,
Yes.
and we're able to live more comfortable. And this type of business that we're discussing will definitely give us a sense of peace.
Yes. Yes.
Knowing that we've got those things in order, and not just that, it'll make it a lot easier for us to enjoy our life a lot further in the future. So you've just structured on what we've been talking about.
Okay.
Encouragement.
Thank you.
Amazing. All right. We know that this is pre-recorded. You may have questions, and she may be checking questions. If she cannot answer your questions, she'll let you know. Don't wear her out. She's a working woman. Have a consultation, pay a fee if you know that your questions are way more than just the basics. And I say that just out of respect to her. But if you do have any questions, please pop them in the comments.
And another answer to the audience: yes, we do work with her, by the way, as an attorney, so she represents us. Yes.
We feel comfortable bringing her on because we know how well she is taking care of us.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Until next time.
smooches.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.